Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. Let's take a quick look at the indexes. So I went on a trip to Alaska. I flew out on this day, and then from here we basically rallied every day, and then the day I flew back we topped out. So you're welcome if you were long. Typically when I fly, the markets either puke or have some crazy uptrend, and that trend for whatever reason continues. What's interesting with this is that you've got a couple of stocks that are driving this, namely Microsoft. You can see a new all-time highs there. You've got Nvidia, new all-time highs there. Meta also very close. It actually, very similar pattern here, making new all-time highs. So you got a little bit of kind of rotation of the guard there. So Meta, Nvidia, and Microsoft kind of driving this. You've got some up-and-comers like Oracle, new all-time highs there. And then what was once the kind of the king of all these big companies, Apple, not really participating this time around. We did get a rally while the market was rallying, but it is a kind of a far cry from its all-time highs, at least at this point. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with Apple. It just means that its rate of growth is slowing when compared to something like a Microsoft or a Meta or an Nvidia at this point. So just kind of something to keep in mind. And I bring that up because someone asked today, like, hey, should we buy Apple here so it can play catch up? And that's just not how it works. There's a reason it's not rallying. And then from there, the biggest question I've been getting is about the dollar. And I've seen a lot of stuff about, oh my God, the dollar's falling apart. This is a disaster. And it's absolutely not. What's a disaster is when the dollar is at 110. And if we look at this for, like say on let's look at a monthly perspective here. Notice when that there's, growth and things like that. What we want to see is that kind of the perfect world is that the dollar is kind of at 95 or below. So 95 to 90 is kind of that sweet spot. That's typically when you see kind of the, it's just balanced. When it's too high, that makes it really challenging for emerging economies. All their debt is dollar based. And then of course, you don't want it too low. That kind of, it's kind of a reverse thing. It's very U.S. centric at that point. But this is kind of a perfect for global growth. So the idea that the dollar is coming down here is fantastic. And if you read anything that says that you should be concerned about that, they just don't know what they're talking about. So that's easy. The only other thing here that I was watching, while I was gone, it was just kind of saying like, okay, are we going to actually see interest rates come down? Because we really need to see if I can type that in correctly. For interest rates here, we've been trending lower a little. The 10-year note rate was about 4.6%, a little bit over that. It started coming down. Mortgage applications started to increase. Refis started to increase. And then boom, with the last employment numbers, we're spiking up again. We really need to get below 4 just to kind of see that residential real estate activity pick up. I mean, a lot of the real estate markets are kind of frozen at the moment because you've got high interest rates, more houses coming on the market, all that kind of fun stuff. And then from there, just kind of looking for, anything here that's just kind of moving and making highs, momentum type plays. FUTU here is pretty interesting. We're not at all-time highs here, but certainly you can see this initial action here kind of coming back, and we see these spikes up like that kind of gives it a target in a way. And so the idea here that we could actually come back and retest these highs is certainly in play. And I would be looking for this to kind of tag up to that 180 level. So anyway, I'll cover some more in the premium video. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you at the next update.
Hey, John here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below and let us know what topic you want to see us cover next. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified when we release new videos. And if you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, go to simplertrading.com and learn how to sign up. Good trading, and we'll see you next time.